Hi folks, I want to pick up where we left off on our injury analysis. As you know, we went through the physics and the mechanics of an injury, specifically a whiplash. We talked about the forces involved. The next session we talked about some of the injuries, and we used some models to show the injury to the neck. And I told you I really wanted to go a little deeper than that. I want to talk about the nerve roots, pain, how we perceive pain during an injury. And so to do that, I want to first talk about the big picture. When we talk about the big picture, the question we should ask is, if we were designing a human body, what would we do? What's our goal? Well, the goal is always the same for any living creature, and that's survival. So different creatures have developed different ways to get information in, to process it, and to send reactions out. And the better they can do that, the better the chances for survival. We, of course, have survived quite well because we can take the information in, we process it, we can think about it, and then we send out, most of the time, a proper response. So that's the big picture. So the next thing, if we're on our drawing board, what are we going to do? How are we going to get that information in, and how are we going to get the response out? Well, we get the information in and the response out through nerves. Nerves carry signals in, and nerves carry signals from the brain back out to our muscles. The brain processes the information. It may take in information from our sight. It may take in information from our sense of smell. It may take in information for nerves that are on our back or on our neck. It's going to take in this information. It's going to decide what to do. And then it's going to send out a signal to muscles, most of the time, to react. Move that hand off the hot stove, for example. So let's start, and we're going to look at two nerve types, the dorsal nerve root and the ventral nerve root. And we're going to break that down into two sessions. The first we're going to talk about is the dorsal nerve root, and that's because the dorsal nerve root is what takes in all the pain sensation from your body. So how does it do that? Well, first, I drew a cross-section of the spinal cord. And you can picture from our neck before, if you take the neck, put it on a bologna slicer and just slice up sections, you're going to take slices of this spinal cord, the yellow portion there. So then pretend you've taken a slice and now you're going to turn that slice to face you. That's what you see here. And specifically the dorsal part, like Flipper has a dorsal fin, the dorsal part is up, dorsal, and the ventral part, the belly, is down here. That's the back of your skull. So dorsal would be your back, ventral would be your front. What I've drawn here is the dorsal nerve root. The dorsal nerve root is this green guy, and these little guys on the end are nerve fibers. These are the individual nerve fibers that are all along your body, all along your skin, that are going to sense pain. They take that signal, it goes up the dorsal nerve root into this bluish area. I tried to make it gray because it's your gray matter. It's the gray matter of the spinal cord. It comes into the gray matter here, and then as we'll go through next time, or next couple of sessions, the signal from the pain, from the injury, is transferred to the white matter. And the white matter is your highway. It's the highway that sends signals up to the brain, and it's the highway that sends signals back down from the brain for the proper response. Those signals go to the ventral part of your gray matter, the ventral horn, and that signal goes to your muscles. So, the complete circuit is the dorsal nerve root senses things. Pain is what we're talking about here, from injury. The signal goes into the gray matter. The gray matter has a connection, or a wire, to the white matter. The white matter sends that signal up to the brain. The brain processes the signal and sends it back down through the white matter, back to the gray matter, and then out to the your muscles for a response. The white matter that the pain signal goes up makes sense. It goes to a section of your brain called the thalamus. Therefore, pain from injury goes from the spine to the thalamus. Therefore, it's called the spinothalamic tract. The fiber specifically that's involved is a C fiber, and that's what carries pain sensation. So that's an overview of the spinal cord and the dorsal nerve root. The dorsal nerve root is the one that carries all the pain sensation from our body to the spinal cord to the brain for processing. The next time we meet, we're going to talk about what happens next. What happens in the brain? We're going to talk about what the brain does to process the information. And then the third session in this series, we're going to talk about what happens to that signal that's now been processed by the brain and is sent back down to the ventral horn or the ventral gray matter for a response from our muscles. Thank you very much for your time.